So I received a question asking me to explain the concept of parallel realities within the frame. And so in this video, I'm going to talk a bit about parallel realities, how they work, or fractalized realities, some might call them, and how they work in the frame, in the dimensions. So let's start with the realm of the destroyer. These are very dense, linear realities dominated by physical materialism and limited perception. So let's draw little people to represent all of the different versions of ourselves. So what parallel realities are basically due to parallel realities are affected by our perception. So the way we perceive the world, the awareness we have, determines what timeline we step into. A lot of people think that there are many different versions of ourselves, right, that are existing in the time right now, in the linear time right now, but that's not really the case. The frequencies of those people are existing within us in this time right now. But the actual person needs to integrate the frequency in order to activate those timelines. So what we have in the realm of the destroyer is, like I said, the dense linear realities. So if your perception remains in the 3D, you're going to lose all of the people, lose aspects of all of the your higher self. Your super conscious self is going to be limited. Your conscious self, so these versions of you in these other realities, are going to become further and further away from your awareness. So how do we integrate the how do we integrate ourselves into these realities? But first, let's talk about the realm of the observer. So these are the middle dimensions. This is what I like to call the Ahrimanic. So this is earth and water, and then up here is Luciferic. And this is air and fire, right? And in here, the 60 and the 70 are the Mercurian, or the Christ. So the Ahrimanic energy represents materialism. So the further down you are in the Ahrimanic realms, the more dense you're going to be. As you raise your awareness into the realm of the observer, which is ruled by water, the matter, or the earth, the actual physicality, becomes more fluid. You begin to flow more, right? So these realms, let me clear the fields real quick. These realms or these dimensions in the realm of the observer represent expanded perception, where time, space, what else? Consciousness, consciousness are expanded and become more fluid, right? So you have access to all of these frequencies right now in the 3D. And some of you are already watching this video in a parallel reality, in a different version of yourself, in a different timeline. Because down here, when we had our awakening, right, we shifted our perception from the 3D, very material, very limited perception of the 3D, into maybe a 3D, 4D, maybe even sometimes we're accessing the 5D. So the more time that you spend in the higher awarenesses, the more likely you are to transition into a timeline, or as some people say, a parallel reality, a parallel version of yourself that exists in these dimensions, right? And at the highest level of this is the celestial sphere. The celestial sphere codes all of these dimensions, right? We can talk about the mountain. So what is the mountain? I talk about it a lot on Instagram. I just posted a 6-part series about the mountain and the dragon and the celestial sphere. But basically the mountain, the holy mountain, the central axis, where all of the parallel realities converge into a singular point on Earth. Remember how I said these dimensions are the bridges? The celestial sphere sends codes into the mountain, into the Earth. This is the axis mundi. And then from there, the codes, or the different reality, the different frequencies, expand outwards into the world. So this is the mountain, and these different realities are expanding outwards. This is a top-down view of the mountain right here. This is the mountain. This is the land around the mountain. So I'm using a physical mark on the map to represent these dimensions, right? So the codes come directly down into the mountain. This is where basically you can choose where what reality you want. So the 7D mountain is the nexus point where all parallel realities connect. It's the pillar of ascension, the gateway through which higher intelligence descends, and then the lower realms are transmuted. So once you get to this 7D frequency, you can insert yourself into many different realities, right? And this is what many teachers, many gurus do, right? You think about the symbolism of the gurus going to the mountain, coming back, integrating with the 3D reality, becoming the teachers of all of their students, right? Because they have the ability to insert themselves into different realities. Okay. So the 9D, the celestial sphere, actually exists outside of time. It actually can edit the structures of reality itself. And then the 8D, the dragon, is the spiral of plasma consciousness. It regulates the movement between parallel realities. The dragon is guarding the earthly realm, right? This is the highest realm you can reach on Earth. The dragon is around here. I don't know how to draw a dragon, but yeah, this is the dragon, and it protects. It's the guardian. It's the guardian of the threshold. So this is the threshold, and then we have the celestial sphere up here, right? Which is over here. This is the 90. 90, this is the 70, and this is the 80. This is how it actually looks, right? So the dragon coils around the holy mountain. It encodes the timelines, ensuring that the lower dimensional beings don't have access to the higher realities prematurely. This is why when you're not ready to ascend, to receive 9-dimensional codes, you often get blocked by the dragon. A huge challenge, right? A huge challenge that forces you to integrate codes from here, teachings from here. You need to learn. You need to get A pluses, good grades on all of these dimensions, on all of these parallel realities, these different versions of ourselves, right? We have to embody our 4D self. We have to embody our 5D self. We have to embody our 6-dimensional self. And when we've done that, then we're ready to step into the 7D. And this is usually very, very late in the spiritual journey. But it's becoming faster and faster. We know people that already are existing primarily in this 5-dimensional reality of themselves, right? We don't know many, but we know a few people who are embodying the 6-dimensional version of themselves, right? They're working on observing all of the teachings of the angels, and they're also teaching the lower realms how to access higher dimensions, right? So the 9D, the celestial sphere, are where the reality codes are sent and received. So from here, they're sent to the mountain. The mountain receives these reality codes. I call them cosmic codes. And the people who are embodying this frequency are the cosmic code creators. So the beings here at this level transmit the new templates into the lower realms. So they're shaping the actual experiences of people in the lower realms. They're affecting their real world experiences. And all of this is carried down into the through the plasma beam, or through the sun as well. The sun is plasma, right? So all of this energy, this is a physical phenomenon as well as a spiritual phenomenon. This is why they want you staying out of the sun, wearing sunscreen, wearing glasses, being in shade so that you don't get skin cancer. And I should maybe talk about that for like a little bit. How this skin cancer is really happening, one, because a lot of products are not good for our skin, and they actually mix with the UV light of the sun and then create problems, we'll say. Problems for the skin. And this is such a tangent, but when we're talking about the sun is emitting codes down to our lower dimensions, And when we're receiving the sun in the 3D, sometimes it is too much for us. The codes are too direct, right? So when we raise our frequency, our etheric bodies become more amplified. So the frequency, this is a person, so our frequency begins to align more and more with the sun, or the etheric plasma, right? And when this is complete, you're in the 5D, when you can fully harmonize with the codes from the sun. And then you're reflecting the codes from the sun, from the 5D awareness. Okay, what else can we talk about? Yeah, so basically, parallel realities are really just you right now in your ability to choose what frequency you align with and then start embodying that. So this 6-dimensional version of you, yes, it already exists. It's just waiting to be activated. It's just waiting for you to start embodying that version of yourself, that version that already exists in the etheric mind. It's not physical yet. But when people think of parallel realities, they think, oh, this completely separate person from me is living a life where I am rich, I have all of the cars, I have a big house, I'm very successful. Or sometimes they think, oh, there's a parallel reality where I'm very poor, or one that I am a woman with 20 children in some random country. And they think the parallel reality is very detached from who they are right now, in that it's random. But it's not random. It's literally you and your higher self. It's your conscious self, your subconscious self. It's your superconscious self, right? It's all different forms of you. So I got on a bit of a tangent there, but I hope that makes sense. It's mostly about integrating the frequency to step into these parallel realities. And we can all do that. And this is what I'm here to help people realize, that it's literally just a shift in awareness. It's a shift in how we perceive the world. And through insight and knowledge, wisdom and love, that's how we shift into our higher timelines, right? Okay, that's enough for today. I'll see you guys later. Peace.